What? Putin's just came out and threatened Kiev and its decision-making centres with his hypersonic, super-duper paratrooper missiles. Now, if you decode, if you think about what he means by decision-making centres, that's where all the Western decision makers are sitting round a round table at Castle Grayskull making decisions, funnily enough. So let's have a look. It's on the very respectable We Tell the Truth RT.
Currently, the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff of the Russian Army are selecting targets for destruction on the territory of Ukraine. These could be military facilities, defense industry enterprises, or decision-making centers in Kiev.
Vladimir Putin right there saying decision-making centers in the Ukrainian capital could be among Russia's targets for strikes with its new advanced missile.
Sounds great, that.
It says 17 military targets in Ukraine were hit in a massive missile and drone assault. Those details are up and coming. Meantime, Donald Trump names a notorious war hawk as his special...
There you have it. Putin came out and said that he's selecting targets in Kiev for destruction with his super duper paratrooper missiles, including decision making centres. And think about what decision making centres are and who's sitting in those decision making centres. That's balls on the table fucking. But it's span out of control. It's span out of control. I mean, this sounds absolutely crazy, man. But it's absolutely looking like Donald Trump might be the only dude that can stop us spinning out of motherfucking control. Because Biden ain't put the brakes on it. Putin ain't putting the brakes on it. Fucking, who's our PM? Fucking that melty belly, but Sir Keir starts to stammer. Isn't he putting it? Hold on, let's just get a wee update on that. So,
targets for future Russian strikes with these advanced Moscow. All sorts of stories are breaking out right now, and before we join our senior correspondent, the top story is this, as Vladimir Putin has said now that decision-making centers in Kiev could be among the key targets for future Russian strikes with these advanced new weapons.
Super duper paratrooper.
During a regional security summit in Kazakhstan.
Currently, the Ministry of Defense and the General Staff of the Russian Army are selecting targets for destruction on the territory of Ukraine. These could be military facilities, defense industry enterprises, or decision-making centers in Kiev. Moreover, the Kiev regime has repeatedly tried to strike at objects of national importance. Serial production of Oreshnik has begun, but ultimately, the means of destruction will be selected by us, depending on the nature of the choices and the threats posed to the Russian Federation.
According to a new poll, more than half of Americans quizzed are against pumping Kiev with more arms and cash.
Right, then they just go into facts and figures to bamboozle you. But he's talking about his super duper paratrooper missiles now going into mass production. And he's saying that when it starts rolling off the production line, they've already in the process of selecting things to destroy, which would be like, and he says decision-making centres. So, what you're going to witness, I believe, between now and that rolling off the production line in mass quantities, because that's if what we're led to believe is true, where there's very little, if no, air defences that can stop that fucking thing, which I don't know, I'm not a military person, I don't know if it's true, bullshit, propaganda or whatever, time will tell, won't it? But the West seem to be fucking terrified about it, and Putin's swinging his dick about it, so it's obviously going to have some impact. That could be a game changer, or it could be game over. If it is a game changer, it is a game changer, but if it's game over, what you'll see is a ramp up or negotiations happening pronto. That's what I'm going to best guess. And that's, let's say that is the scenario. That's why Russia's making such pushes right now to gain as much territory as they can before the negotiations happen, and Russia, with their boys out with their new super duper paratrooper missile, they're going to claim all that territory, and they're going to keep that land, or as a buffer zone or some shit, you know. That's what I see, but who am I? But aye, interesting times, you all, man. And that is from Russia Today, because we all know Russia Today is the truth. But it's quotes from Putler at a summit. What did they say? Uzbekistan or some shit? Can't remember. It's on the tape. Get it? Got it? Good. Cat cheese, no cats, no cheese. We're harmed in this filming.